I saw the brand. I got a little bit excited.
Yeah, I know. I could see it.
But
I was
the Orianna.
I was immediately like, oh yeah, please do it. Do it. I keep waiting for people to really, really punish the Sion. I think the Darius, things like the Urgot would also work. This is a really interesting counter pick that we've not seen for a while, but Shogoff is actually really good into tanks for a multitude of reasons.
Jax!
Even better. Oh my god, yes please. Okay, so listen.
Man, DRX.
Jax has becoming more popular slowly. I think we've seen him in the LPL a couple of times as well. And the beautiful thing about the Jax is he does actually provide setup for the Nidalee, but most importantly, like the split push pressure that we always talk about is just impeccable. I think that the one downside of Jax that if any of your like free carries get fed, you're golden. If you get into the mid game on even footing, you're golden. This comp plays itself, and from a team like Nongshim where their strength has been team fighting, 2v2 DRX are not able. We haven't really talked about this, but Bao going for the cleanse means that his survivability is good. A dive here coming in. They're not level 6 yet.
Level 6 for Peanut. They're trying to get on top of Bao here. The burst damage, is it enough? It might just be Duckdom straight up killing him. Hops away. And they juggle that turret aggro perfectly. Do Nongshim, they're going to get a double kill this early on for Duckdom's Tristana. Say goodnight to that bottom lane.
I think if you're on even footing, you're fine as King. And
oh, is this really happening? The level 7 Tristana is flashing after the level 9 Jax is not going to get the kill. But it was really close. That was Peanut might be able to pick it up here. He's going to get the vision. You can see he's thinking about it, but the collateral damage not going to actually land onto King. And as the rotation is matched here from DRX.
Good catch by Bao there, but might have tanked a little bit too much damage there. They need to clear the wave. Duckdom?
He's trying to get on top of Duckdom. He doesn't have a splash. He just turns it onto Bao. Bao is going to get in there, though, with the killer instinct, and at least tries to turn it around. But this is a huge team fight for the side of Nongshim. They have the damage, and they're going to shut down that pitiful Jax as well. And that's going to be a couple more plates into the pockets of Nongshim on top of the fight. Becca not able to get in there and help out on the pick. So now Nongshim are doing this thing where, you know, from ahead, there's not too many objectives right now. We get a big knock-up, though. That's going to be the spear on a Duckdom, which is pretty nice, but we get the shockwave on Ahsoka. He gets zoned away from the fight. Now it's 3v2 in the jungle, as Kellen is pretty slow, but the horse is closed on right now. Another spear is going to hit, but with the heal coming out here, it looks like DRX do push them away, and here. It's just 5 members grouping up. This is what you do with Nongshim. Syndra's in the top lane, Jax was bottom. You force a fight here. And now Becca is going to have to ultimate. He might still die as he just gets shredded to pieces. That Bay ultimate was pitiful, but it doesn't matter because they get another turret, and now we got Duckdom trying to get on in there alongside Rich. That was kind of 1-by-1. It was actually Peanut, not Duckdom. Scale forcing forward, trying to push the issue, whereas the rest of the team was looking to back. Even the Syndra would be commanding in her own lane. Yeah. And now we're just having Nongshim just run at the Baron.
Yeah, this is looking like a classic I get your bottom outer and we get Baron. Although they do peel off here, which is interesting. Don't think they're the vision control that they'd really like. But they definitely, I think they could have gotten away with that easily.
Yeah. It's almost one of those scenarios where they're too safe.
Yeah.
You know, you're pretty far ahead. It's 23 minutes in, but you have the damage. Irrelevant in this game. The spears, even with the Void Staff, I'm not really feeling it too much. And DRX they're not grouping up for the Ocean Drake. They're just letting it go. Trust me, guys, they didn't forget about it. This is a decision made by the team to let this go. And they will hand over Soul Point to Nongshim. But he's just going to jump the wall, and DRX will disengage. And nobody even takes critical damage. Yes, they get the flash at a Pyoshik, but that's in trade for Sion's teleport. That's going to feel pretty nice.
I was just about to, can you hear that dock, dock, dock? You know, the sound of. Thank you, Observer.
You got a little bit of that at the end.
Just start the Baron, and if they come, just turn and they go in.
Well, this is one way to try to make things happen. They're going to force the ultimate out of Becca, and now Solka's in a really awkward spot. He has to flash, but he just gets burst to smithereens. See you later, Syndra. And, you know, if it wasn't going to come at the hands of just running at the Baron, they can get a pick and go into the Baron as well.
Oh, King, and look at the teleport to bot side.
Yeah. There we go. He's trying to push the issue here. And the Baron is started. They're going to get some vision onto Pyosik. We'll see if he can be the hero. The spear is going to land. We have that split push going in the bottom side as well. And it doesn't look like Pyosik wants to get in there. He's just going to bait the ultimate out. As now Kingen is being run down here a little bit. He's going to get that ultimate in the face. Has to flash away from Rich now. As the Counter-Strike is going to buy him some time. Can jump to the ward here and get out of dodge, it looks like. Did a bit of damage to that inhibitor, but at the end of the day, Nongshim do get this very important Baron.
Sorka's life is not worth it as we get a trap set up here.
Trying to get onto Rich, and here comes Peanut. You can see the amount of damage he does as Pyosik has to hop out of that one. And they just can't even make it through the Rel. This damage isn't really sticking right now for the side of DRX, so nice amount of poke comes out from Nongshim, and now they will push with that Baron buff.
That's how you can solidify this game as DRX, otherwise it's going to be rough.
Ooh, that's going to be Rich going on in, and that's the repel as well. A ton of damage. Kingen is getting into the backline along with Bao, but Bao is just going to get blown up, and Kingen can't do it alone. And that's going to be exactly what Nongshim were looking for. The straight-up team fight is good enough, and that will be the Ocean Soul easily into the pockets of Nongshim.
And round the one, DRX has come back, and so has Casper Cup Nongshim apparently, because they are looking super dominant here. And the big takeaway for me is that even with the lackluster mid-game, DRX, the Jax pick, it was a nice idea. And I don't think it was the Soul issue. There were a lot of issues here for DRX, but it definitely didn't help.
Well, you talked about the Soul issue and the only issue, but we also have a Soul issue now.
Yes. Show this kind of early game to really show this kind of consistency, and they're just looking for the cleanest game possible.
All right, let's see. Okay. Thumbs up. He's like, yeah, good job on the wave, buddy. I don't want to fight you with the super minion, so I'll just go ahead and take this inhibitor. Thank you very much. This was pretty inevitable, right? King was eventually going to do this. And
but now what?
Yeah.
I don't think he gets through Sion.
No.
Like, he's built 2 tank shred items, but I don't think he's quite that. I think he needs magic.
He's actually flashing away. He's getting 1v1 by the Sion right now. Now, he's got to be a little bit careful. The Sion, you know, actually, never mind. He's still full health.
He has Ocean Soul!
Yeah, he's got Ocean Soul. Then they're just going to go ahead and dive the turret. Actually, we got a nice amount of damage coming out here from Bao. We got a couple of stopwatches coming in. But guess what? The guy who won the top fight is going to come in here with full health. And look at the guy on the right. Kingen has to go into the fountain, get his health back.
Which you really need as... Oh, Becca. Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, at least... No, he doesn't have his ultimate here. And he is going to bait Peanut in. Peanut takes a huge amount of damage now. He's running away as fast as those little Graves legs can take him. And yes, he's going to get the safety, but now this is a fight that DRX could actually potentially win. Or can they? Sion is still alive, so I'm not actually sure. As that's a big ultimate coming in from Bay. Hasn't been looking good so far, but he gets the important one. And that should do it. Nongshim get a couple of big picks. We got 3 inhibitors down now. DRX are just on the run.
Look at the health bars, Valdez.
Yeah, they're all just gaining health here. They're all full at this point in time. Can they kill the Sion? The answer is obviously no. Imagine not picking Sion on 11.4 in this, and 11.5, and in the near future as well.
Kingen?
Can he kill him?
Kingen?
Can he kill him before the Nexus dies? Kellen is going to die. Okay, Bao's also, and that's going to be the Nexus going down. And Sion does live. Maybe Sion will be on top again. And, you know, he's close, but not quite. It is going to be the Fed Tristana at the end of the day.
I mean, I love myself some right-clicking. Dogdom right-clicked with the best of them in that game because it's easy to, like, joke about it, but, like, getting to that fat point as Tristana is a really thin line, and I think that early game laning prowess, the trading that aggressively set up that dive was what really enabled it, right? And then Peanut and the rest of them, like, cleanly executed.
Hello and welcome back to the LCK Analyst Desk. And game number 1 goes into the favor of Nongshim Radfors, and the competition for the number 6 spot in the playoff is real. And we had Jax as a counter pick into Sion, and still we were not able to see the best game out of this pick. Very unexpected pick. Jax. Well, there were a lot of different AD champions to counter Sion. You know, as we mentioned already, Aurelia could have been one of the options. And if he was going to just focus on the side lane, there could have been better kind of playstyle to pull off. I was really perplexed to see this Jax pick, because this champion can hit the power spike in the mid and later game, but DRX was not able to play around this Fed champion in the later phase. Jax was only hitting the turret, not the players, till the end of this game. Or maybe sometimes Sion, but still, that was pretty much irrelevant to the result of this game. If DRX wanted to play this side lane comp, maybe they had to put up a better setup to pull it off. But Jax was not able to get ahead of the opponent in any time of this game, and Italy, because she had to kind of support his top laner, he had to play around the top side of the map, whereas Peanut, well, Sion is not a champion that needs a lot of backup from his teammates, so Peanut could freely roam around other sides of the map. This is not only about Sion, you know, being super reliant, but at the same time, this is because of Sion being super reliant and also letting Graves be more proactive in other side of the map. Jax and Nidalee has a bit of a balance in terms of the damage output, but DRX was not able to show us the best plan in this game. Because they failed their early game plan, maybe they had better setup for the later phase, but still DRX didn't really seem like they knew how to play around this side lane comp around this Jax in the top lane. So we're really curious to see if they are gonna still going to pick it in game number 2. But first, let's take a look at the highlight where Nongsin was able to smash the game from the get-go. And this bottom lane turret dive was very critical. Nidalee and Graves were on the different side of the map, and when Rel went in, actually that smoke screen was really on point. So Becca could not react to this turret dive coming from Nongsin Radforce. Because of the vision getting controlled, he was not able to use any of his ability to protect his AD carry. And Nongsin was really smart, utilizing their tempo to pull off that turret dive as well. Graves actually gave up some of his jungle camp and went for that turret dive, which means Nidalee could have accelerated or traded back, going for some invade into the opponent jungler. But actually at that time in the game, Sion went down to get some honey fruit, and he made an eye contact with that Nidalee in the jungle, so he was able to also stay in a safe spot away from the jungler. Speaking of the top lane, Nongsin Radforce was able to dominate the top side of the map as well. So let's take a look over here. This was the last chance for DRX to even out the state of the game. So Alistar was able to find the engage onto Tristana, and it was a kill between the AD carries, but Kellen was able to 100-0 this Syndra, who just arrived the top lane with that TP. And then very clean Shockwave to clean up the kill as well. Especially when it comes down to this kind of a combat ability, well, Sion is always ahead of Jax, because this champion is just meant to play the team fight better. But DRX did not keep that in mind, and they were still committing really hard for that fight on the top lane. And after that huge win, Nongsin was able to push their momentum forward and lock down their victory for game number 1. And POG will go over to Kellen on Rel. The centerpiece of Nongsin Radforce is definitely Kellen. Maybe one of the centerpieces, but especially today in every team fight and skirmishes, well, he was able to always pull off a clean engage on that Rel. We always pointed out that a lot of LCK support players are really good at this champion, but I think Kellen will be the leader in this kind of playstyle. And also perfect turret aggro juggling whenever the teammates were going in for a turret dive was also on point. We have a lot of kind of team fighter for the support role these days, and I think Kellen's Rel is one of the best we got. And 8 for 9, sadly, he only missed out 1 vote coming out from Mr. Chronicler on our English caster's desk, but still, his laning partner, Tokdam, was doing a fantastic work as well, so props over to Nongshim's AD carry as well. But Kellen was able to have the game of his life in this game for sure. Nongshim brought themselves to a solid win up against DRX, one of the top tier teams in the LCK, but DRX is a team that loves 3-game series, so let's see what will happen in game number 2. So back to our casters. Thank you.